you kind of feel as though the only way to put the pressure back on South Africa is to try and look for boundaries. So it's going to be quite tough for them, I think.
Mulder comes into Pereira on middle stump, defended back to mid-on, no run.
Why hasn't Sipamla had a bowl so far?
That's something I actually was questioning yesterday. I think Wiaan Mulder, in the first day, even though Sipamla took 4 wickets, Wiaan throughout the day was the most consistent bowler, and with left-handers, because we saw Sipamla struggling with Kusal Pereira up front. Wiaan Mulder can move the ball in and out into the left hand and away from the left-hander. So I think that was the reason for that yesterday.
Yeah, but they started this morning with Mulder as well, not Sipamla or Nortje.
Well, Nortje had a mare yesterday.
Yeah, no, Mulder. This one outside off stump, pitches on about off stump and goes across Pereira, leaves it alone for no run. I think that's
Nortje.
Go ahead.
Nortje only bowled 3 overs yesterday and he went for 23 runs. And he was just giving the Sri Lankans a lot of 4 balls. And that's why Mulder was brought in, and Wiaan had an economy rate of 3.13 when he started today. So he was bowling much better from this end.
Mulder into Pereira, full and on off stump and dropped there in the slips. It looks like took the outside edge or the leading edge there from Pereira's bat, and it squirted out to the slip cordon. Let's see what the ball did here. Was it a drop catch or not?
It went low towards him.
Yeah.
It went very low towards him, and he dropped. He went with one hand on his right, and he dropped it.
The ball swung through the air. Yes, he went in front of Rassie van der Dussen at first slip. I don't think Rassie would have caught it because it was low to the ground with the leading edge, and it would have bounced if Faf didn't go for it with his right hand, and he just popped out of his hand. But that was an absolute beauty of delivery. They took a single there. This one to Chandimal gets driven back to Mulder, who deflects it to mid-on, and there is no run. That ball swung through the air, squared Pereira up, and took the leading edge down to the slip. So that was a great delivery by Mulder. Absolutely beautiful.
And
should the slips have been standing slightly closer so Rassie could have made that catch?
No, I don't think so, because that was the thing there was the leading edge. It almost came off the back of the bat. So
it came off and also the bottom half of the bat. So it was already hit the bat very low.
And this one by Mulder also looks like it's shaping a bit through the air, just outside off stump, defended back to the bowler for no run. 85 for 2 is the score now. Some excitement here from Mulder, so that's good to see. Lungi getting his lines right and Mulder making things happen for South Africa this morning, but also some good defending by Pereira and Chandimal, keeping the ball away from their wickets and from their pads. Mulder in again over the wicket to Chandimal. It's left alone outside off stump and there's no run. So 1 drop catch already so far today for South Africa, but that was a super difficult chance. That was a super difficult chance. Yeah.
You say good defending by Chandimal and Pereira. I admit that Chandimal has been defending well. I don't think Pereira has even been trying to defend. Have you seen a defensive stroke by him this morning?
Well, he's keeping the ball out of his wickets and off his pads. So even with that streaky leading edge, he did connect with it. So we'll give him that little bit of credit this morning. But Wiaan Mulder has been really good against Pereira in terms of getting him into those awkward positions and making the ball talk a little bit through the air. So that's nice to see. 6 overs so far in the day, only 20 runs so far. So a very low scoring rate of 3.3 here this morning, which is way below what we've seen in the rest of the test match. This one by Ngidi to Pereira, 3 slips and a gully defended to extra cover and there's no run.
See, this is what I don't get. Ngidi gets 3 slips, Wiaan Mulder gets 2.
Well, he had for Pereira, he had 3.
Yes.
For Chandimal, they give him 2. I'm also puzzled by that, and it was definitely be something that I'd be talking to my captain about if I were Mulder.
It's your second game in Test cricket. It'll probably be like young sports. You'll get whatever we give you.
Okay.
I'll take whatever you give me. Whatever you give me, I'll take it.
Yeah, and Ngidi is now over the wicket to Pereira, the second delivery. Both of them were over the wicket in this over, and this one is also left alone through to the keeper for no run.
Yeah, so he's on 48, and
he's probably feeling the pressure of 50, so not going quite so swashbuckling right now until he gets his 50, I suspect, Pereira.
So we might, we're not seeing any fielders close in trying to stop the singles here.
Well, you got to give them the singles. I'd rather be bowling to Chandimal.
And Ngidi to Pereira. This one is an appeal for LBW. Holdstock is not moving at all. And Ngidi,
probably pitched outside leg.
Yeah,
pitched outside leg.
Yeah, I don't think that's
but we're reviewing the
review. It has been reviewed.
No. Oh dear. That will be a wasted review.
I think so too.
You heard it here first from Gorilla SA. Yes.
And they've already wasted one review yesterday, so that wasn't.
Lungi needs to have that pitch in line.
Let's see where the pitch is. Oh, that could be. It could be. It looked like it did straighten. It hit him in front of middle and leg. So the only reprieve here for Pereira would be the pitching outside leg stump. We'll have to wait for pitch vision for the ball tracking, but it hit the pad first, nowhere near the bat. So that's that
get
one.
An umpire
outside leg. Well done, Ravi. Well called there. And review lost. So South Africa have one review left.
Yeah, look at that. This pitching 3 inches outside leg. Or more, 5 inches.
Yeah. As he was taking guard, you could see all 3 stumps behind the batsman.
Yeah. In fact, Ngidi's been bowling a good line to him, keeping it much straighter, not giving him the chance to free his arms while bowling over the stumps to him for the left-hander. It's an interesting line, and it seems to be keeping Pereira quiet. But they shouldn't have reviewed that.
No, definitely not.
It kind of feels like the South Africans are desperate to make a breakthrough after 30 minutes have gone.
Yep, Ngidi in again to Pereira. This one is defended outside off stump to extra cover, and there is no run.
I'm not sure if they'll be allowed to play golf, but they have the whole country club to themselves. So maybe they're trying to see if they can't get a biosecure golf game going at the Irene Country Club. You see, this is what England wanted. They wanted the Vineyard Hotel to be next to a golf course, so they could kick everyone off the golf course.
I'm just wondering if Ngidi needs a fielder behind leg, backward of square, because he doesn't have anyone. He's bowling a much straighter line.
I think he's got a fine leg, but he doesn't have a back pad. I think that would work.
He doesn't have a
for that.
This one goes wide, full and wide by Ngidi, and Pereira throws his bat at it, and it bounces into the ground and to the keeper for no run.
Well, from our pictures, he doesn't have a fine leg. He might be squarer, but I'd like the fine leg to come through. But I think they're trying to tell Lungi to push it straight and either away from and middle and off, and that fourth stump line to try and concentrate all of Kusal's runs down onto the offside.
Onto the
85
offside,
for 2. And
that was almost
in
a
again,
T20 delivery.
Kusal Pereira, left alone outside off stump, no run.
Yes, that one was. It's one of the balls he uses, that wide full toss. That stops people from getting runs. I think a lot of the T20 bowlers use it as a stopgap. Bjorn Hendricks tried to use it against England, and he just missed all his lines. So Lungi's been working on that.
Bjorn Hendricks had a nightmare. We know that, and I gave him credit, as you know.
And then he got COVID.
Poor chap.
He actually would have been playing. He would have been playing this test match if he didn't get COVID.
Mulder versus Chandimal,
Sapamba.
defended to extra cover, no run. 85 for 2 is the score still. So Vian Mulder has still got 2 slips and a gully to Chandimal.
That previous over was also a maiden, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
That is correct.
They really slowed down the scoring rate today.
Mm-hmm. And that's the first thing you'd want as Charles Langeveld, the bowling coach, is to just, if you can't take wickets, you just stop the game.
Mulder over the wicket, Chandimal left alone through to Quinton, and there's no run.
Because in as much as the Sri Lankans are all injured, this isn't the 4th innings of the match, and so they still have to somehow find a way to make a game of this. And if the South Africans are not bowling in areas they like, they're going to have to find a way to create runs, and that's when obviously the mistakes can start to happen, and that's probably the only way we have right now.
Mulder in again to Chandimal, defended outside off stump to point, no run. A nice grouping of dot balls here by South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Ravi?
Chandimal is not in a position to take quick runs, so I think Sri Lanka have shut up shop as far as the runs are concerned. They only want to deal in 4s. So they're just looking for the bat balls now. So now is when South Africa should attack.
Yeah, exactly, Sri Lanka. Vian Mulder going over the wicket onto middle stump and leg stump there, defended awkwardly by Chandimal. He didn't have much of a clue where that went, and it didn't hit him on his pads. No appeal, no run.
Yeah, and I think this is where...
Keep Chandimal on his toes, as it were. Stretch that groin, strain it, whatever. But make him work for, not leaving it outside the off stump, but make him work for every delivery, for his wicket.
There it is.
Oh, yes. There it is. Vian Mulder gets the off stump, went back for Chandimal, and he has to depart for 25. Great in-swinging delivery or ducking in. I think we'll see on the replay if Mulder got a little bit of swing there, but beat Chandimal's outside edge and struck the off stump. So good work there by Mulder, and he gets rewarded for his consistency there. 85 for 3. Chandimal looking back for some reprieve, and that it's not forthcoming. And we'll see here, nice movement in off the seam, beat the inside edge of Chandimal, who played outside it, and it struck the off stump. Ecstatic Vian Mulder, he's very happy, and well, he should be. That was a beautiful delivery.
So the biggest asset asset that Vian Mulder has is that he can land the ball on the seam, and he can make the ball move away or come back in. So we've seen with Lungi to Dinesh Chandimal, all the balls are going away. There's one that came in, but it was too high. Vian Mulder did the same tactic that Lungi did, but he's more of a swinger. He swings the ball a little bit more than Lungi does. And this time he got the ball to cut back in rather than going away. And so it's that surprise ball that gets the wicket, which is a great plan. You have a lot of your balls going away, and the one that comes in has him not even moving his feet and stranded.
Yeah, and this one also, it looked to me like it kept a bit low.
Yes.
Chandimal was playing for a higher bouncing ball there, but it struck just to clip the top of off stump.
That's what they tell you to bowl.
Yep.
It's
so good.
Bowling the areas. I don't think that Mulder knew whether the ball would seam in or seam out. He was just getting it on the seam, outside off stump, just outside off, and seeing what it would do.
Yeah,
and
good work.
That got
good work there.
Chandimal's wicket.
Get Vian Mulder a juke ball, please.
Niroshan Dikwala is into the action now. We will see if his beasting definitely hasn't slowed him down. So that's good to see that he's healthy and up and ready to bat. As Mulder comes into him now, he's left-handed. He blocks this one out to cover, and there's no run. 85 for 3. Sri Lanka trail by 140, and great work there by Vian Mulder. So that was a wicket maiden after stringing all those dot balls together.
It makes things easier for South Africa now that there are 2 left-handers at the crease, because they can maintain a consistent line, even with. I'd expect to see a lot more singles taken now because Chandimal's gone. But you can bowl to a plan now and not have to keep shifting it because of the batsman. So let's see what happens.
Good point. Yes, that's going to help South Africa a little bit, and we'll see what type of mood Dikwela is in. Pereira is still on 48 of 63 balls. So Chandimal scored his 25 or 45 before he was bowled by Mulder. And only 6 extras so far, so that's also a better figure than what we saw in the first innings. Nokia is into the attack now. He goes to Kusal Pereira, who defends this to point, and there is no run.
Yes, so I'm not hoping for a much better spell. Slightly fuller lengths. Yesterday was bowling quite short, and he wasn't bothering the batsman at all. And Nokia's big key here is always to hit the bat. The ball must hit the bat high on the bat, and also try and cause the batsman some discomfort by forcing them to stay in their crease, and then your surprise ball's the fuller one outside the off stump.
This one by Nokia is a little bit shorter, and it's down to third man or backward point, where it's fielded and they take a single. So Pereira moves on to 49. Dikwela is going to face Nokia. I think Nokia should take a page out of Ngidi and Mulder's book, like Ravi rightly pointed out, and like we've said about Ngidi's bowling, hit those areas, go for the wickets, just hit those areas outside off stump, and if the bowler doesn't know, like Sean Pollock always used to say, if the bowler doesn't know what it's going to do, how the hell is the batsman going to go?
The batsman going to know what it.
I'm going to ask you to refresh quickly. Next ball in. Next ball in outside the off stump, let go by Dikwela. Not Mulder. Nokia's come around the wicket this time, as we just wait for Otto to just get back on the stream.
Let me tell you what Herb has said on the Twitter. He says, sitting in snowy England and really enjoying the Guerrilla SA cricket coverage on the SA versus SA Boxing Day test. Humour, insight, and an obvious love for the game from the commentary teams. Thanks for the entertainment, guys. And thank you for listening as well.
Mm-hmm. Nokia with the back of a length ball to Pereira, to Dikwela, and he just defends that. That hit the bat very high. So 86 for 3. Otto, you good? Just give us a young one line.
Let's hope so. Only 17 minutes to go. Much better. Great stuff. Okay, Nokia coming around the wicket to Dikwela now. Let's see where he went around the wicket to Pereira, that last delivery. If he can settle into a rhythm here. Around the wicket again to Dikwela. This one outside off stump. Left below to the keeper. No run. Too wide. A line there. So he needs to try and pitch it outside off. Just a little bit closer than that last delivery, but maybe he's following Ngidi and just working on his line, starting out wide and bringing it in.
Does he have anyone backward of square on the leg side? He might be worried about that.
We'll see just now if we can see the fielding settings here. Nokia around the wicket to Dikwela on off stump, and this takes an inside edge. Yes, there is a fine leg who runs around now to collect, and they take quick 2. So, as you pointed out, Ravi, with Chandimal gone, they can now run. Dikwela is on 2.
Touch wood. If you're Mickey Arthur right now, those quick singles give you heart palpitations.
Sishepo also tweets in, Mulder's discipline does it for the Proteas. Man showing why he was Gibson's favourite child. which is a reference I don't get.
Gibson is Otis Gibson, the former coach of South Africa.
Oh, right. Yes,
and Björn Mulder got his, I think he got his test debut under Otis Gibson. And at the time, I think Björn had just finished high school. I know he played for the Lions while being in high school in his final year in high school. The one training session is a picture of him arriving in the change room in his school uniform.
This one by Björn Mulder, who's continuing, seems to have struck Kusal Pereira on the arm as it cut in once again, almost like one that was given out. It hit his left arm, his rear arm, his back arm, on the elbow. So he's going to feel that for a while. Almost like the one that was given out a little bit higher and just clipped the tip of his elbow. And luckily for Pereira, enough of his elbow deflected the ball down into the ground and away from his stumps. Theo is coming on to the field, Sri Lanka's MVP for this test. Grabs his back.
That
he's running out to help Pereira there.
Wasn't it? That was a ball that jumped. Putting it in the eye.
Yes. A little bit more extra bounce there. Yes, so Pereira came forward to play that, to try and with a little bit of a forward punch. And so the ball rose a little bit higher than he expected. He was expecting the ball to hit him high on the bat, but actually it just missed the bat and hit him on that elbow, on that front elbow. And it's just very sore. It's luckily this is more of an external injury rather than an internal injury. He still
won't get a runner. He still won't get a runner. I'm sorry. It's your elbow. You don't run with your elbows.
So yesterday's press conference was filled with questions about whether the ICC should allow substitutes for COVID in COVID times, right? And Mickey Arthur says he's on the panel, and he's definitely going to have a discussion with him once the series is done. And the large, because obviously the reason with him and Sri Lanka was that they were preparing for the Bangladesh series, and then they decided that was not going to happen because of COVID, so they had to deload the players. So you load them up fitness-wise, and because for safety concerns, you have to unload them back to normal society, essentially. And then they found out they were going to play in South Africa, and then so they brought them into a camp, but that camp happened under lockdown, so some players who were living outside Colombo couldn't come in, and so they had to do training at home. And once they actually got the go-ahead for this tour, they got a camp with the players. They spent about a month with the players, about a couple of weeks with the players, and then they had the Sri Lankan Premier League started, and so they lost the players.
This one, Mulder, is straight onto middle, leading edge from Pereira, squirts out to the covers, and I think they took a single there. We'll just check now. Maybe they didn't.
Yes, they did. Pereira moves to his fifth test 50 with that single, and Mickey Arthur is shaking, while applauding him. And you can see Kusal Pereira has a new cool little band around his elbow, and he scored his 50 of 67 balls.
Yeah, good work by Pereira.
Anis Mohammed says, I know it's early on in the innings, but in the 3 matches that are going on at the moment, there has been no reverse swing. Have teams forgotten how to do it, or was the art always nefarious in nature?
No.
So a little bit of controversy there.
Well, also with that 50 run, Kusal Pereira has reached 1,000 runs in Test cricket. So congratulations to him, a double milestone going to him.
Fantastic.
We'll talk about the reverse swing after this ball from Mulder. But I think it's because teams are no longer allowed to use saliva on the balls. And so you see a lot of teams not shining the balls as much.
Dick Willard defends this, but it beats his ouch. Also glitched there, but it's through to the keeper for no run. 18.
Mulder's looking really good.
Yeah, Otto, we're struggling to hear you there. That last ball just went outside Pereira's off stump. He tried to play at that one. Björn Mulder getting the Sri Lankans to play at the balls, and it was a good one. Just no edge there as we wait. Yeah, so I think teams aren't allowed to use saliva as Mulder comes in. This one down the leg side, and it was flicked off either the pad there, and it was dropped by Quinton on the leg side. And so I don't know if that was an opportunity, but based on Quinton's wry smile, he thought that came off the bat, and Vian Mulder's not happy as well. Another opportunity gone, begging 2 dropped catches already. As we look at that replay, came off the feather of the bat there, and Quinton just grasping that one.
And he had both hands behind the ball and just hit him on his fingers. He closed his hands too quickly. Mulder over the wicket to Dikwela. This one is left alone. A good leave by Dikwela through to the keeper for no run. 89 for 3.
End of that over. So Ravi, I think it's the lack of saliva. Yes?
In fairness to Quinny, that ball was down the leg side. That wasn't the line he was expecting Vian Mulder to bowl. So he had to actually shift from an offside line to the leg side to try to get the delivery behind the stumps. He should still have caught it, I guess. But,
and we see images of Vernon Philander in the commentary box, holding his hands on his head, seemingly remembering the times that his leg side edges were dropped. But Vian Mulder's bowled incredibly well so far. Nortje in.
And over the wicket to Pereira, who flicks this off his pads down to fine leg or square leg, where it's fielded now, and they take another quick 2. So good running there by the Sri Lankan. Centurion is not a big ground, so a ball that goes down to the boundary most of the time gets you only 2 runs. So 91 for 3 is the score. They trail by 134 to Sri Lanka. Pereira is just retying his shoes as he'll face the second delivery by Anrich Nortje.
I hope this one too is not down leg, because they've been bowling a decent off-stump line so far. If they start challenging the fine leg and the wicketkeeper to take leg stump deliveries, it will cause them to change the fielding and the fielding position, which is not right. They should bowl to their field, ideally.
Nortje, this time across Pereira, and this one is left alone for no run. They're just showing a replay here.
Delivery.
Yes, much better. Pitches on the off-stump line going across the left-hander, not enough room to drive or cut. So he's got to keep it there, does Nortje. And that's what we saw from Mulder and Ngidi as well to the left-handers. Nortje in again. And this one is pitching on middle, going across the left-hander and squares him up, beats the outside edge. If you're a Sri Lanka fan, you might say Kusal left that alone because his bat was right in front of his body. But I don't think he knew a lot about that one.
That was a very good delivery.
Yes, that's more of that, please, Anrich.
And to some extent, Anrich has that in his armory. He just needs to bowl those a little bit more rather than the short balls that he tends to rely on a lot.
Over the wicket he goes, inside edge onto the pads, squirts out to cover. Kusal Pereira blocked that delivery, wasn't fully behind it. No run, 91 for 3.
That was a match.
Needs to stop
nice
rolling balls outside leg stump. Really. 1 ball in 6 is going down leg side is not good. It's almost like a leg spinner or something.
Yes, and the other thing that line gives you that goes across the left-hander is the inside edge onto the stumps. So he's got to keep it there. And this one is down leg side. No run. Left alone by Kusal Pereira. 91 for 3. Wasted delivery. Wasn't in terms of runs and that sort of thing. But Nortje was hitting those areas so well, and then he goes down leg again. That's not good.
Look, but you gotta. It's very hard bowling right arm over to the left-hander because you normally you kind of have to you open up your body to get it across the left-hander, and doing that has been very hard for bowlers throughout time. And because the moment where you will stray to that normal line that you bowl to that the right-hander's off stump, the left-hander's leg stump.
That last delivery defended to extra cover, no run.
But what I will say in quote to that is that there are so many more left-handers in today's cricket that they really should be able to adjust. We can't say it's difficult for them, so therefore they have to be excused. Ngidi and Mulder didn't bowl that inconsistently. Perhaps training for pace sensitive. I don't know.
Vian Mulder to Dikwela. This one gets the edge down onto the ground to Gully, no run.
Mulder and edges, it's pretty cool. And to a certain extent, that's something that probably Anrich needs to bring into his game. That line works well if you want to bowl short to the left-handed batsman. But if you want to bowl full, that line doesn't work. So I think that's where he may have to try and work with Charles Langeveld to make sure that he's consistent to left-handers.
Mulder to Dikwela, beats the outside edge through to the keeper. Defense there by Dikwela, but he didn't make any contact with the ball. That was close to the edge as well.
Mulder is beating the Sri Lankans consistently on off stump, which is really good to see.
He's making them play, forcing them to play a shot, and then beating the outside edge. In again to Dikwela, this one is just defended down the pitch. First time Dikwela has had his back behind the ball, and there's no run.
This is our last over, is it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then we've got Tsepo and Dave who'll be coming on. And
nice.
We've got some comments on YouTube from our resident fan, my Europeanath. We'll talk about them at the end of this probably won't be our last over. I think the next over will be our last over.
Mulder to Dikwela, who plays a check drive through the covers, beats extra cover, and it goes to the boundary for 4. Good shot by Dikwela, a little bit wide from Mulder on that occasion, and got punished.
It was just too full there, and with the angle, it's a lot easier for Dikwela to just come forward with that front foot punch, and Temba had no chance there at middle.
Good shot by Dikwela.
On Twitter, Quinton, without the armband, would have caught that one.
Mulder in again. This one is deflected off his hips, down to the fine leg boundary for 4. Too fine for the man at square leg to come around. 99 for 3 is the score now. Dikwela is on to 10 runs. So straying in line there, Mulder as well, and getting some bat on it, Dikwela.
There we go with that ball that's perfect to a right-hander, but very nice for a left-handed batsman to play down to fine leg.
Maybe a right-hander would have looked to pull that. Mulder in again to Dikwela. This one, has it got the edge? Yes. And Mulder celebrates. Dikwela has edged it through to Quinton de Kock, and he is walking off the field. That's 4th wicket down for Sri Lanka. They trail by 126. Dikwela caught behind by Quinton de Kock off the bowling of Mulder for 10. And he faced how many deliveries? We'll check for you now.
15
deliveries, thank you.
And with that, guys, this is probably going to be the end of your stint, but a very good wicket from Vian Mulder. We hope to see you later on today if Dave doesn't take all the wickets in the next hour. But thank you very much, friends, and we'll see you later today. If not, in the next test match.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Done for this test, so I'll say goodbye and say what fun.
Cheers, Ravi.
And please give Vian Mulder a break. He's been bowling for 1 hour continuously now. So
yes, he has. It's been a long spell. It's been about 6 overs.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Ravi. Thank you. Sure. See you soon. And we've got Tsepo on and Dave as well. And gents, how have you seen this morning? I think Dave's still trying to sort himself out. We'll just wait for him to do that. But Tsepo, I think you're on mute. Yes, there we are.
Oh,
the 2020 saying.
It's the same thing. No, I feel good. Definitely have a bit of Mulder madness. Loving the line, loving the length, loving that consistency, man. This is what we've been talking about. It's so good to see. It feels like I'm watching Test cricket again. So, yeah.
Yes, just getting it again to start refreshing the screen. Mayura on YouTube says, hey, he is a comeback baby. Or here is a comeback baby. And I think that was just before the wicket. And he asked how we are. So we are well, Mayura. Thank you very much for supporting us. And just as we do a lot of as we wait for the drinks break to end, just do subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see our lovely faces. We've got a scoreboard here. We obviously can't show the visuals, so we just you can just see us as we try to do this remotely. Obviously, in COVID, we can't all be in the studio, so we're all at our different houses trying to do this as safely as possible, especially in South Africa because we've now gone to level 3 adjusted. Which has a lot of explanations, but just know that we are safe in our houses. Tsepo, you've been watching that first hour. Apart from Mulder, the South Africans have been bowling very well. I think in Ngidi and Nokia, yes, there have been a couple of few bad balls here, but they've tried to put pressure on Sri Lanka a lot.
Yeah, you can definitely see there's a clear plan this time around. Definitely hitting that fourth stump just outside of off-stump line. And even the dismissal that the one ball dismissal, the Chandamal dismissal that just hit the top of off stump, that is exactly what you love to see as a bowler. So it looks like the South Africans are really starting to hit their straps, and that's bad bowling that we are complaining about. It looks like it was a thing of the first innings. It was just a case of nerves, and the quality started to show through.
I think we're about to go back in, Tsepo. Are you on DSTV now on your phone?
I am. So
at the
moment.
You seeing the Powerade screen?
I'm still on the Kia screen. Arrive happy.
Tell me when you see Shanaka's. Tell me when you see Dustin Shanaka's batting card.
Will do.
We're also trying to get Dave back on, so it'll just be the two of us for now. Once Dave sorts out his stream, he'll jump back on.
Awesome sauce. I have the tweets ready here. If you need me on tweets.
I will need you on tweets.
Fantastic.
So, are you good with Shanaka? Have you seen him?
With Shanaka? Oh, no, still not there yet. We're still Ram hand-to-hand couriers. I'm still just in Ad Nation.
Can you just restart it? Can you just restart it? And then we'll see again.
See what happens.
Yeah. Just go out and come back in. The first two balls of that Mulder over have been Nokia over have been played out to the offside. Pereira on 52 off 75 as we try to get our streams linked up so we can provide you the best quality. Third ball has been played off out to the leg side. What are you seeing, Tsepo?
Still buffering. I'm not seeing any cricket at the moment. So yeah,
cool. That's fine. I'll just keep on doing that, and then we'll just wait for you as Dave is coming in to join as well.
I just got a ball that went into Quinny's hat. Oh no, just a replay of the wickets. So still no Shanaka, but I'll keep you in the loop.
Okay, cool. The third ball of Vian's over played out to the leg side. That is no for a single. As we're just trying to see if Dave is getting himself on. Dave, you good? So I'm on 5.3 overs of Vian of Nokia's spell.
I'm on 5.2 at the moment. Just got the second one. Yeah, that's a bit better than before, at least.
Hello. Sorry, technical issues this morning. Is everybody
that's fine.
Doing well?
We are well. We're just waiting for you to come and take the wickets. Anuch Nokia in to that is Dustin Shanaka for his first ball. He plays it out to the offside. He's got 3 slips and a gully, with Vian Mulder just hanging out in at mid wicket, just enjoying and basking into his newfound fame. And that ball, that 4th ball of the Nokia's 5th over, has been called for a no ball. We're just going to have a view of that. And it is no ball. Okay. That is a lot. Next ball, the 5th ball, is outside the off stump and played out and let go by Shanaka to Quinton de Kock for that last one. Okay, I think at the end of the over, we'll try to sync it up a little bit better, so we can get you guys in. I'll just wait. You need to tell me when Nokia bowls his final ball, his 5th ball of the over.
His 5th. Okay, he's about to bowl the one off the no ball. I'm just seeing no ball footage now. While we're here, we have a comment or a tweet from Anis Mohammed. She says, at Gorilla Cricket SA, I know it's early on in the innings, but in 3 matches that were going on at the moment, there's been no reverse swing. Have teams forgotten how to do it, or has the art always been nefarious in nature? That's a really good question.
Yes, that's true. Tsepo, are you there now?
I'm still seeing replays of the wickets.
Okay.
He's about to bowl his last one now.
There's the 5th one for me. Smashed that through the covers, and Mulder's having to do a bit of work there.
There we go, Dave. Ball by ball.
Wonderful. So that's just reined in by Mulder there on the cover boundary there. 1 to go in Nokia's 6th over. He's got a little bit, very expensive for Test standards, but wonderful from Kusal Pereira. 53 from 76. He's facing a difficult challenge. Gents, what have we thought about the opportunities gone begging this morning?
The Faf one was tough. I think the leg side one was a little bit of a let-off.
Nokia in again, and this one spits out the deck, and Quinton takes it at head height, and that's end of that one. 103 for 4, Sri Lanka.
Yes, I think that Quinny one down the leg side was tough, but I think he should have done it. I think Quinny's probably one of the better glovemen in world cricket, and he could have done slightly better with that one.
No, I even tweeted as that happened that Quinny without the armband would have caught that one, because it just seems like it was both hands they had it. So back in the day, if you can get 2 hands on it, counts a drop catch. So
it's a simple take. In my mind, it's a simple take.
I agree with you.
Regulation take, yeah. But like you said, the armband maybe changed.
Maybe weighing his arm down, make it a bit. Yeah.
Maybe possible. Mulder in again for the start of the 10th. This one's worked off the pads and they race through for 1. They think about the 2nd, but no interest there as Supamla does the work. Markram's up to the stumps to collect that 1.
On to the reverse swing question. Obviously, we're in COVID, so you're not allowed to use saliva, and so you won't see a lot of shining. You can shine the ball with sweat. But the moment saliva goes onto the ball, the umpires have to wipe it. So it possibly could be that, or they were doing other nefarious things. But
changing the field as we see mid-wicket come out of place. Yeah. Besides Vian Mulder, who's in again now, and he passes the umpire, and this one's left alone. It dies on its way through to Quinton de Kock. No run.
It's surprising that Lutu Supamla hasn't been given an opportunity to bowl. South Africa's bowled for 2 hours already in the session, and he hasn't even bowled a ball.
No, it is pretty surprising. Sorry about that, Dave. On Mulder's end, you could definitely see that there's something in the water for the man. The line, the length that he's bowling at is just fantastic to see. And while he's still rearing, why take him out? Let's clean up the innings.
Mulder in again, and that one's just pushed at by Shanaka. I'm sorry, Tsepo. I want to slightly disagree with you on the lines. I think he needs to bowl slightly straighter. That last one was definitely a better line. Either you look for the faint nick off, like you said, there's not a lot of swing on offer, or the leg before. I think if you're bowling fourth, fifth stump line, I think you're going to find yourself short.
I see. Oh, rather get everything into play. Rather get the LBW into play. I see your...
Absolutely. Mulder in once again, and this one is meaningfully defended. No run there. Shanaka is probably higher than he should be, gents.
Yes, obviously Dharanjaya Silva is injured. Wanindu Hasarange, who came in above him, is also injured. And so Shanaka batted at 7 yesterday, is now coming in at 5.
These injuries that have been plaguing the Sri Lankans, really quite the game changer.
So he's batting outside of crease here, obviously trying to just upset the length, and Mulder in again, and this is just defended, no run.
Yeah, I just sincerely hope that there isn't any other ideas, any other things that are preventing Luto from bowling, because it's been 2 hours and you've only used just 3 of your 4 frontline seamers. And Luto took 4 wickets in the last innings as well.
Many question marks. Now that you mention it, the more I think about it, the more you try to come up with your own reasons, but you obviously can't be in the mind of Queenie de Kock. But yeah, it could be many things. Could be just saving him to clean up the innings at the end.
Not really. You also want him to. You also want to give him an opportunity to bowl, and you also need to share the workload amongst your bowlers.
I wonder if they're feeling.
Yes, Dave? So that's the end of the 26th over. Sri Lanka 104 for 4. They trailed by 121. We're just trying to get Dave sorted out from a connection issue. Dave, are you back?
I think maybe looking for a man who's going to wrap up the innings there. There's proof that he's done well with the ball.
Yes, but also you also want to give an opportunity with the new ball as well, because he bowled well with the new ball the second time round.
He did. That he did.
As we look at the Sri Lankan dressing room, Hasaranga has padded up, but remember he had that quad issue yesterday from an injury perspective.
Sure, guys. Sorry, my stream is going through a bit of a lockdown
some
of its
connectivity
own.
issues here.
First ball of the next over has been cut by Kusal Pereira. Nokia bowled that one. It was wide, and it went out to the cover point region where Timber picked it up, and the Sri Lankans run for 2. And Nokia was slightly short on his length there with that ball. And obviously Tsepo's sorting out. We've got connection issues across the board, but if you guys are ready, just jump in. Next ball in from Nokia, played out to the offside. No run taken. Kusal Pereira just deciding not to take that one. They Sri Lankans trail by 119. We keep on getting camera shots of Luto Sapamla, which means he's probably yes.
I think the lines are maybe.
Yes, Dave. We'll just try to get you on a better line. And then Nokia bowling the 4th ball of his 7th over. This one cramping Kusal Pereira for room and getting it played back out to onto the offside, no run. 106 for 4.
Fantastic. I am just about to witness the first ball to be over.
Okay. So you're just seeing Aidan Markham rubbing the ball there, trying to get it to shine a little bit.
Tell me when you get to the end of after the 5th ball is bowled, then I'll be there.
Okay, that's fine. Just hold it there as Nokia is coming in to bowl the 5th over, the 5th ball of this over. It's a fuller one driven down to the fielder at mid-off. There's a fumble there that enables the Sri Lankans to take a single. The score goes up to 107 for 4. So I hope you caught it.
Perfect. Yeah, I just got Timba Bavuma shining the ball. And yeah, we're good to go. Looking crisp, oh, you can't be serious. Video playback error. Sure, technical difficulties are...
That's okay.
Right, but it is what it is.
Yes. We've got Dave back. That's the... that ball came very low on the bat there. And last ball of Nokia's over was wide outside the off stump, and after beating the bat, shaped away slightly as Quinny de Kock picked it up in front of first slip. And it's the end of that over, 107 for 4. They trail by 118.
How many wickets before South Africa feels like, we're in the tail, so to speak?
One more.
One more?
Shanaka,
yes.
Yeah.
So Hasaranga will come in, but he's obviously injured. So it's going to get that Chandimal situation with Kusal Pereira where you can't take quick singles. Obviously, the question would be how well the physio worked on him last night to try and needle out any of the aches and pains or any injuries that they had. Next ball in is a short, played out to the leg side, and a quick single was taken by, not actually due to the offside, quick single was taken to Temba by Kusal Pereira. Dasun Shanaka was put in the wars there as Temba took a shot at the stumps, and it missed not too far away. But that was the first ball of Vian Mulder's over.
That's like playing Russian roulette with 5 out of 6 bullets in the chamber. I don't know why you would do that.
It actually hit Shanaka's bat. There. And
Exactly.
Timber's lamenting the fact that it hit the bat. But there's nothing that... he did his best there. And
cannot blame him. Mulder in again, and this is left alone through to the keeper. Nothing there. So we say one is good enough, and it has to be Pereira.
Not really. It can be Shanaka. We know how well Pereira can bat with the tail, but remember that Mickey Arthur said in a press conference yesterday that he suspects that 3 of his batsmen won't come out, and that is De Silva
in once again, and it's a ball that just nips away and ends up in front of first slip. So there's still something on offer here for the South African all-rounder.
And yeah. Yes, that's a nice. He gets this lovely, gets the ball to seam away, and he presents it really nicely, and so he's always in with a shot with the new ball.
Absolutely, it's. I think it's also the lines that he's bowling, the lines and lengths that he's bowling are asking questions of the Sri Lankan batsman. Halfway through his 11th, he's in again, and this is just defended as the men in the slips applaud the wonderful start here by Vian Mulder. Why not make the change to say Sipamla come from one end? What do you think's holding the change up?
That's a question we all would like to know.
It's difficult to say.
Because you also got to give him an opportunity at this level. He needs to bowl. He's good enough to bowl. Give him that opportunity. You've tried Nokia. You can't get a wicket with him. Vian Mulder must be tired because he's bowled for an hour and 20 minutes.
Wonderful delivery is the next one there. That just beats the off stump when Shanaka leaves it alone. Nothing there, but oohs and ahs all round.
We have another question here on the tweets from Anis Mohammed. Over the next 3 years, there may be 2 or 3 spots that may open up in the Proteas batting lineup. Who do you guys think we should have earmarked to fill these gaps? And should we take the Aussie approach or the subcontinental approach when it comes to replacements?
Mulder in again, and it's a wonderful line and slightly fuller than he probably would have wanted, but Shanaka's not able to make hay while the sun shines. That's the end of his 11th. Sri Lanka 108 for 4.
What's the subcontinental approach or the Aussie approach?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the Aussie approach. In particular,
youngsters.
I'm thinking of youngsters.
And the subcontinental approach?